Generic options minus question mark hyphen h hyphen help. Print a short description of all command line options and corresponding environment variables and exit. Help environment env. Print a short description of Python specific environment variables and exit. New in version 3.11. Help x options. Print a description of implementation specific x options and exit. New in 3.11. Help all. Print complete usage information and exit. New in version 3.11. V minus capital V version. Print the Python version number and exit. Example output could be Python 3.8.0 b2 When given twice, print more information about the build like Python 3.8.0 b2 and more. New in version 3.6, the minus hyphen my VV option. Python miscellaneous options, command line options. B issues a warning when comparing bytes or byte array with string or bytes and with integer. Issue an error when the option is given twice minus b. Hyphen capital B. If given, Python won't try to write .pyc files on the import of source modules. See also Python don't write bytecode. Check hash based py default or always or never. Control the validation behavior of hash based .pyc files. See catched bytecode invalidation when set to default. Checked and unchecked hash based bytecode catch files are validated according to their default semantics. When set to always, all hash based .pyc files, whether checked or unchecked, are validated against their corresponding source file. When set to never, hash based .pyc files are not validated against their corresponding source files. The semantics of timestamp based .pyc files are unaffected by this option. Hyphen D. Turn on parser debugging output for export only. See also the Python debug environment variable. This option requires a debug build of Python, otherwise it's ignored. Hyphen capital E. Ignore all Python star environment variables. Example Python path and Python home that might be set. See also hyphen capital P and hyphen capital I isolated options. Hyphen small I. When a script is passed as argument, first argument or the minus C option is used, enter interactive mode after executing the script or the command. Even when sys.stdin does not appear to be a terminal, the Python startup file is not read. This can be useful to inspect global variables or a stack trace when a script raises an exception. See also Python inspect. Hyphen capital I. Run Python in isolated mode. This also implies hyphen capital E, hyphen capital P and hyphen S options. In isolated mode, sys.path contains neither the scripts directory nor the user's side packages directory. All Python star environment variables are ignored too. Further restrictions may be imposed to prevent the user from injecting malicious code. New in version 3.4. Hyphen 0. Remove assert statements and any code conditional on the value of underscore underscore debug underscore underscore. Augment the file name for compiled bytecode files by adding .opt-1 before the .pyc extension. Changed in version 3.5. Modify .pyc file name according to PEP 488. Hyphen 00. Do hyphen 0 and also discard doc strings. Augment the file name for compiled bytecode files by adding .opt-2 before the .pyc extension. Hyphen capital P. Don't prepend a potentially unsafe path to sys.path. Python -m module command line. Don't prepend the current working directory. Python script.py command line. Don't prepend the scripts directory if its symbolic link resolves symbolic links. Python -c code and Python REPL command lines. Don't prepend an empty string, which means the current working directory. See also the Python safe path environment variables and -e and -i isolated options. New in 3.11. -q. Don't display the copyright and version messages even in interactive mode. New in version 3.2. -r. Turn on hash randomization. This option only has an effect if the Python hash seed environment variable is set to 0. Since hash randomization is enabled by default, on previous versions of Python, this option turns on hash randomization so that the underscore underscore hash underscore underscore bracket values of str and bytes objects are sorted with an unpredictable random value. Although they remain constant within an individual Python process, they are not predictable between repeated invocations of Python. Hash randomization is intended to provide protection against denial of service caused by carefully chosen inputs that exploit the worst case performance of a ticked construction O n square complexity. Changed in version 3.7, the option is no longer ignored. -s. Don't add the user side packages directory to sys.path. Capital S. Disable the import of the module site and the site dependent manipulations of sys.path that it entails. Also disable these manipulations if site is explicitly imported later. Call site.man if you want them to be ignored. -u. Force the std out and stdr streams to be unbuffered. This option has no effect on the std in streams. -v. Print a message each time a module is initialized, showing the place, file name or built-in module from which it is loaded. When given twice, -vv. Print a message for each file that is checked for when searching for a module. Also provides information on module cleanup at exit. Capital W arg. Warning control. Python's warning machinery by default prints warning messages to sys.stdr. The simplest settings apply a particular action unconditionally to all warnings emitted by a process, even those that are otherwise ignored by default. -w default warn once per call location. -w error convert to exceptions. -w always warn every time. -w module warn once per calling module. -w once warn once per Python process. -w ignore never warn. The action names can be abbreviated as desired. An interpreter will resolve them to the appropriate action name. For example, -wi is the same as -ignore. The full form of argument is action message category module line number. Empty fields match all values. Trailing empty fields may be omitted. For example, -w ignore depreciation warning ignores all depreciation warnings. The action field is as explained above, but only applies to warnings that match the remaining fields. The message field must match the whole warning message. This match is case sensitive. The category field matches the warning category, example deprecation warning. This means this must be a class name. The must match test whether the actual warning category of message is a subclass of the specified warning category. The module field matches the fully qualified module name. This match is case sensitive. The line number field matches the line number, where 0 matches all the line numbers and is thus equivalent to an omitted line number. Multiple -w options can be given. When a warning matches more than one option, the action for the last matching option is performed. Invalid -w options are ignored, though a warning message is printed about invalid options when the first warning is issued. Warnings can be controlled using the Python warnings environment variable and from within a Python program using the warnings module. For example, the warnings.filter warnings function can be used to use a regular expression on the warning message. My -x skip the first line of the source code, allowing use of non-Unix forms of hash !cmd. This is intended for a DOS specific hack only. -X reserved for various implementation specific options. C Python currently defines the following possible values. -x fault handler to enable fault handler. -x show ref count to output the total reference count and number of used memory blocks when the program finishes or after each statement in the interactive interpreter. This only works on debug builds. -x trace malloc to start tracing Python memory allocations using the trace malloc module. By default, only the most recent frame is stored in a traceback of a trace. Using -x trace malloc equal to n frame to start tracing with a traceback limit of n frames. See tracemalloc.start or and Python tracemalloc for more information. -x integer underscore max underscore str underscore digits configures the integer string conversion length limitation. -x import time to show how long each import takes. It shows module name, cumulative time including nested imports, and self time excluding nested imports. Note that its output may be broken in multi-threaded application. Typical usage is Python 3 -x import time -c import async IO. See also Python profile import time. -x dev enable Python development mode, introducing additional runtime checks that are too expensive to be enabled by default. -x UTF-8 enables the Python UTF-8 mode. -x UTF-8 is equal to 0 explicitly disables Python UTF-8 mode even when it would otherwise activate automatically. See also Python UTF-8 environment variable. -x pycatch underscore prefix is equal to path enables writing .pyc files to a parallel tree rooted at the given directory instead of to the code tree. See also Python pycatch prefix. -x warn underscore default underscore encoding issues a encoding warning when the local specific default encoding is used for opening files. See also Python warn default encoding. -x no debug underscore ranges disables the inclusion of the tables mapping extra location information end line, start column offset and end column offset to every instruction in code objects. This is useful when smaller code objects and PYC files are desired, as well as suppressing the extra visual location indicators when the interpreter disables tracebacks. -x frozen modules determines whether or not frozen modules are ignored by the import machinery. A value of on means they get imported or and off means they are ignored. The default is on if this is installed Python the normal case. If it's under development running from the source tree, then the default is off. Note that the import lib underscore bootstrap and import lib underscore bootstrap underscore external frozen modules are always used, even if this flag is set to off. -x perf enables support for the Linux perf profiler. When this option is provided, the perf profiler will be able to report Python calls. This option is only available on some platforms and will do nothing if is not supported on the current system. The default value is of C Python perf support and Python support for Linux perf profiler. Python command line options you shouldn't use. Hyphen capital J reserved for use by JPython.